Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker Connie Dornan of At Properties based out of Glenview, Illinois. Connie has been in real estate since 2005. In 2015 alone, she sold 150 homes for $65 million in sales. She was the #1 individual agent for At Properties for 2015, and she has also won Chicago Magazine's Realtor Professional Award for the last 5 years. On top of that, she also ranks #7 of all individual agents in the state of Illinois by sales volume. All right, with all that said, Connie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Keith.
Connie, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Actually, it was a combination of many different factors. However, the main driver in my decision was mainly based on my own experiences in working with realtors to find my own personal residence. And this was before I went into residential sales. I started my career off in commercial real estate, so I wasn't in the residential sales market. So I hired a realtor, and they just wanted to sell me a house. They didn't want to sell me a home. And that was a problem for me. You know, as a buyer, and I was young and a first-time buyer, I was very nervous. I wanted to know about a community. I wanted to know about the house. And I didn't feel like I was getting the information that I felt was necessary for me to make the right decision. And so that was the main driver out of many different factors that led me into this career.
And do you think you'd talk about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Sure. That's easy. Drive, self-reliance, willpower, patience, integrity, passion, connection, optimism, self-confidence, communication. How you develop these is very easy. It's either you're born with it or you're not. I think this is something that comes naturally to people. And then through experience, these natural genes, so to speak, get more fine-tuned to what you're doing in life. Just further tune like your life's goals, both as a realtor, as an individual. These same goals apply to any path that one would choose.
Excellent. And do you think you can give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Sure. Tenacity and determination are central towards the path to success for anyone. A good example would be hitting a down market and thinking outside of the box to market a home cleverly in a way that hasn't been done before other than doing price drops, when sometimes price drops are not even warranted based on comps. So having the ability to be creative and determined is essential.
And Connie, I think whenever somebody builds a successful career or a business, that sometimes getting there, there's bumps along the road. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Actually, I got a good story for you. My biggest adversity in getting into this business is when I first started. It was baptism by fire. I really didn't have a manager, because once I started, there were these organizational changes with the company that I first started working for. Not the present company that I'm currently in. So it was really, I was just on my own. I relied heavily on my instincts on how to get the job done, which included heavy research and surrounding myself with competent individuals where I can learn from. For example, lenders and attorneys, knowing to ask the right questions and just doing a lot of research in order to get things done and make sure that my clients are satisfied.
And I guess as these obstacles come up and as they did along the way, you know, what kept you going despite the obstacles? Why didn't you give up?
Oh, you know, my parents, period. My parents are immigrants, and they came here with nothing, and they made something of themselves. They didn't have it easy at all, and yet they overcame every obstacle that was thrust upon them. They exemplify the American dream, and if they could do it, I could do it. It's plain and simple. I also have 2 sons, and I want them to feel the same way as I do about my own parents and their achievements. I want my sons to know that with hard work and determination, anything is possible.
And Connie, I guess kind of looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
I'm looking forward to how technology is changing the way that we sell and market properties, actually. I look forward to being at the forefront of this technology so I can further advance what I bring to the table to my clients and further enhance the level of excellence my clients have grown accustomed to. I just constantly want to think outside of the box.
And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so that you can have continual growth?
Innovation and technology, and always seeking for new ideas to reach a greater audience. You can't be practicing real estate like in the 1970s and 1980s, or even when I first started my career. You constantly have to change. You constantly have to be out there looking for new technological advances that are happening to market and advertise a home.
I think sometimes when the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value that they provide from both a buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
Well, first of all, I think generally speaking, the biggest misconception is that going directly to the seller is going to save you money in a real estate transaction. Time and time again, I've seen this happen, and then I get these clients afterwards, and they come crying. They're like, oh, my God, I can't believe I did this. And so, what are you going to do? You have to pick up the pieces and move forward. So that's the biggest misconception. The other second misconception is that this job is easy and that anyone can do it. I don't believe that's the case. I actually, when I first started this career, I did think that anyone can do it. And then as the years went along and I see the complexities of transactions, and it's a learning experience. Just when you think you've seen and heard it all before, something new pops up. It's not an easy job, and you have to be determined, and you have to have integrity, and be on top of it.
And Connie, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state. Now, obviously, with your experience and probably with your connections, you could look up an agent and do a referral, but from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
I would tell them that they need to meet with the prospective agent and see if it's the right fit. Not just in terms of working together as a team, but also, does this agent advertise, and if so, to whom and how often? What are all the different mediums employed for advertising and marketing your home? Is this agent well networked in the micro and macro area of your community?
And Connie, obviously you're based in the Glenview, Illinois, the greater Glenview, general North Shore suburb area. And if somebody's looking for real estate services or an agent in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
Well, they can visit my website at conniedornan.com. Connie, ConnieDornan.com. Scroll to the testimonials button and read what my clients have to say about me. And then the best way is you just pick up the phone and give me a call at 847-208-1397. Let's have a chat and discuss your real estate needs.
Excellent. Well, Connie, obviously we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Connie, obviously you can go to her site like she said. You can call her also below this interview. We'll have a link to her site and any other contact information we have so you can see how Connie can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.